I'm going to hit it.
Welcome, gentlemen, to the Loose Dads podcast.
This is Loose Dads. Hello and welcome. My name is Jim. I have a panel of dads here. It's the same panel we have most weeks, to be perfectly honest. I tried to build that up and make it sound really exciting. Like, ooh, who have they got on this week? Have they got Ryan Reynolds? No, we do not have Ryan.
Although last week you had Phil.
We did have Phil, yeah. And he was like a real fresh breath of fresh air. But he's not here this week. So it doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fine.
Back to the old stagnant air that we're all used to breathing.
Oh, dear.
Good to be back, boys.
We're going to be talking about where it's appropriate to take babies. We are going to be talking about the big answers to the big questions that dads have. We're going to be playing Parenting Would You Rather. But
High wind!
We're going to play a game. Thanks, Brad, for if you're not listening to the live stream, you're not seeing this. We've just had a message from the one and only Wendy, Sparky's mum. Yes, hello.
Hey, hello, Mum. Hi, Mum.
You know it's going to be a great show.
Feel free to join in at any point.
Yeah, if you have any embarrassing stories, we'll devote a section to them a little bit later on for Sparky, so that'd be great. First of all, I need to introduce the panel. We've got the A-team. Let's call them the A-team. In the week that Iceland has been offering loans to people to buy their shopping, I thought I'd give you the panel as the shops that they would be. So Brad would be Pick and Pay, right?
Yay! Well done, lovely.
South African shop.
South African
Yes,
shopping.
I thought so, yeah.
It's like South Africa's only major supermarket, like Tesco, I guess. Yeah.
Every little helps. That's what they say.
Hey.
Now, Jack, this one's more difficult. All right,
Okay.
Jack would be Castles. Anyone want to have a guess about what Castles is?
I'm assuming it's a Norfolk-based supermarket
No,
or shop.
no, it's not.
I think it's a guitar shop in Hawaii.
It's a guitar shop. It's not in Hawaii. Well, it might be in Hawaii. There might be a branch in Hawaii, but it's a guitar shop that featured. It's a real guitar shop, but featured in Wayne's World, the film.
Oh, yes.
okay.
I like that.
Jack-
Except
guitar
Jack's
guy.
missing the hair sort of thing from Wayne's
Well,
World.
yeah,
and-
sort of the opposite hair-wise, isn't it? I did wonder
We're
how
all
hair
saying-
was going to come into it.
But
It wasn't
excellent.
me. That
Excellent.
wasn't me. And Sparky is little.
What? Because it's all about the bit in the middle. Is that?
No, but the shop that he would be, right, is...
Oh, Jim, I missed that one. Oh,
The
beautiful.
bit in the middle, the supermarket taint, if you will.
That's what
Very
I should
good.
call it.
Very good.
But if we're not going to go for a little joke, then Sparky is Woodthorpe Park. Do you know what Woodthorpe Park is? Are you aware of Woodthorpe Park?
No, but enlighten me.
It is a plant shop in Nottingham. Because
Okay, oh,
as already mentioned on this show, Sparky the Urban Gardener, we've not mentioned that for a long time, and I'm quite glad that someone mentioned it earlier on. There are YouTube videos of Sparky trying to sex a courgette, and
Don't look for them. Don't look for them.
he can't take them off the internet, which is the best thing because he's lost his password.
That is a fact. That is a fact. But if we are going to plug a Nottingham plant shop, we can plug little plant guys in Beeston because it's the one. It's the one.
Okay.
All right, we all getting paid for that plug, are we?
Hold on, guys. I might be able to get you a hydrangea each, though. So
Mate, I'll
that
take
might
it. About 20 quid each, then.
This is the deal that we were all looking for. And I would be Cardigans or us, obviously. Right, should we play a game? Let's play a game.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's game time!
So this is the point in the show where we like to play a little game. This is a game we've played the last few weeks, but, it's working. So why change something that works? I mean, obviously we had Phil last week. That worked, and we've changed it back again. But, we're not changing this bit. So it's Would You Rather, the game that you play, kind of two horrible situations. You've got to choose one of them, but with parenting topics. So first one, let's go to Sparky, seeing as he wasn't here last week. Would you rather allow your child to eat whatever they wanted for every meal until they're 18, or to let them get a giant face tattoo when they're 12?
Okay. I think he's eating anything he likes at the moment. I mean, that's the only way we're getting him to eat. So, I mean, yeah, definitely. And we can't damage his beautiful little face with a tattoo. I mean, no. So yeah, he can have chicken nuggets till he's 18 if he wants.
What if it was a classy face tattoo?
Like what? What? Okay, all right. Go on. Describe to me what a classy face tattoo is, Jack.
The Mona Lisa?
Okay, I mean, good answer, but no, mate. He can have nuggets, turkey, even turkey Twizzlers if he wants, but rather than that, have it on his face
every day until he's 18.
However, though, Sparky, here's the question, right? What about if he said to you he just wants to eat McFlurries for every meal now until he's 18?
Oh, man, that's what it would be his preference as well at the moment. Like ice cream. He's just started saying as well when you give him dinner, even it's food that we know he likes. Like he goes, "That's yucky." I don't know where he's picked it up from, but he's like, I don't like it. That's yucky. And
any bad childhood behavior, I would say, is picked up from Peppa Pig.
Yeah, usually, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like, oh God, if I never watch Peppa Pig again, seriously, I'm done with it. I'm done with Peppa Pig.
Sparky, this might well be Paul who suggested this, but what if it was a croc tattoo on his face?
Now it's a different question, maybe. Depends how many free crocs he can get us for getting the tattoo. Because if it's filled by crocs, I'd sacrifice my son's face for free Crocs. No, I wouldn't. Don't sound like that. Don't at me. That was a joke.
So the Dark Knight reckons that it's Bluey that he's got that from, because apparently the Dark Knight's ones have started that as well. So is that where it's yucky? Because Bluey seems so wholesome. I've not watched a lot of it. My kids now, if anything says CBeebies, they're like, "Oh, we're too old for that." But I'd quite like to go back and watch Bluey and Dougie a bit more. But apparently that is Bluey. Could it be that?
Hold on, Jim. So like we're obviously you guys can get to this, but with us being on Patreon and all of that, and Jack and I usually do the Geek Talk for like extra content. Would you be up for like a review of Bluey?
That's a great show.
No, I'm being sarcastic, dude.
Look, we've been looking for an episode for Sparky and Jim to do.
Well, there we go. You guys can meet up and talk about Hey Dougie and Bluey.
I would do a deep dive into Hey Dougie and the influences behind that program. I think that is one of the most. I don't think it's one of the best kids programs. I think it's one of the best programs on TV. Genuinely.
Like you do that. Some of the kids' programs I end up getting into so much. Not Peppa Pig. Let's just make it clear. It's definitely not Peppa Pig. But I'm really after I went to Glowworm this weekend, Glowworm Festival, and Andy from Andy's Dinosaur Adventures.
Oh yes, great show.
He's so cool. I like, and he's got a band called Andy and the Odd Socks, and Jackson loved it. That's a new playlist for us to be listening to on Spotify. But yeah.
Oh, someone said to me earlier, you know Andy from Andy and the Odd Socks, and I went, No. I have no idea what you're talking about. But if they just said Andy from Andy's Dinosaur Adventures, I'd have gone, oh, yeah, Andy.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what's a good modern reference these days. He's like the Justin Bieber, but for kids. Like, no, because Justin Bieber's sort of for kids. But you know what I mean? Like,
Justin Bieber's for adults.
I told you I was thinking of the reference. What I mean is, the kids were going mad for him. All these Andy and the Odd Sock t-shirts at Glowworm Festival and stuff. I was like, okay.
They were going so crazy for him. They were flinging their diapers and nappies at it.
My brother bought a second-hand car off Andy from Andy's Dinosaur Adventures.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
that's an amazing claim to fame. That's
so joke.
I thought I'm waiting for the punchline because that
sounds
sounds
that sounds like...
It was genuinely true. It was an awful little kind of like one of those sort of soft top convertible things but not like a posh one, like a Mazda or something like that. I don't know. I'm not a big car guy, but it had like rips in the back of it and stuff done up with like gaffer tape and stuff. It was just.
Oh, so Dinosaur Adventures don't pay that well.
Well, this was maybe just before the Dinosaur Adventures. He got on that gravy
No,
train.
man.
So,
He found fame, man.
Andy's big news. Like he was doing a book in the CBBS bedtime stories tent, and then he literally was like, "Guys, I can do a few photos with you, but I've got to clear off because I've got to get on stage to play with the Odd Socks." Like the BBC couldn't pin him down for a minute. That's how big he's bigger than the BBC at Glowworm he is. So there you know.
There's going to be an interesting power dynamic between Mr. Tumble and Andy, because Mr. Tumble has always been the king of BBs, and now Andy is like the young pretender. There will be history programs about this in about 100 years' time.
The young pretender who's like in his 50s.
Yeah, okay, admittedly.
Quite old.
Do you guys remember back in the day when MTV actually used to have decent content? There was a show called Celebrity Deathmatch.
Good.
If they could revive that and bring back Celebrity Deathmatch with Mr. Tumble and Andy,
that'd be brilliant.
I think that would be epic.
I'm just trying to figure out if I've got it in my workload this week to animate that.
Oh, do it. And do like and Mr. Tumble's tagged in Aunt Polly. Aunt Polly, Mr. Tumble.
You're on the company dime now for the Dad's Net. You can devote a day to doing that.
Yeah.
It's for work.
Dark Knight says get Harry Hill on for a fight between Tumble and Day. Rachel's going Mr. Tumble because her daughter has it on repeat every day. We've got Ian says you've insulted Andy by comparing him to Justin Bieber. The Dark Knight wanted to know if the car that my brother got flew, because of obviously that one. And the big news is that Wendy's tapped out. She says bye.
That's about all she can tolerate with me normally. What do we get? 10 minutes out of her. Cheers, Wendy. Love you, Mum.
I also just want to highlight though that Ian has just said that Blaze and the Monster Machine is on repeat in his house now. If you guys ever watched that, I'm pretty sure that show pushes drug use.
Weed. Yeah.
I mean, the catchphrase is "Let's blaze."
The theme tune says, "Give me some speed,"
and then that's it. Give me some speed.
And then it's let's blaze. Yeah.
Drug use.
Where is this program from? I have never heard of this in my life.
Oh, is it Nickelodeon?
Is he the red monster truck thing? Is he?
Yeah, I mean, like the
Yeah.
boys used to watch it when they were younger. It's actually quite I enjoyed it. Out of all the children's shows, it's all right. But like, I was sitting there going like, come on, that's like let's blaze. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then, go,
come on, kids, let's roll up a patty.
Yeah, I was going to say, sit there with the boys and pass the Dutchie on the left-hand side. You know?
I mean, I'm not quite sure how we got here from face tattoos, but I'm all for it. I mean,
I love this tattoo.
Right, okay, Jack, your child is the reason that their team always loses because they're so rubbish, or they're the reason their team always wins because they always cheat. Which would you rather? Would you rather your child was the reason the team always loses because they're rubbish, or they're the reason the team always wins because they cheat?
Okay, so they always win because they cheat.
Yeah.
A couple of questions. Do they get found out?
Well, it'll be pretty obvious, won't it?
Would it?
To you.
Yeah.
You know.
Come on, Jack. And you want to teach your sons integrity, like and winning like gentlemen.
But cheating, if you're never found out and no one will ever know, is that really cheating, or is that like?
Hello to all the other dads listening, thinking about having an affair.
Sounds a bit Boris Johnson.
Danny's quite literally in the room with me doing work at the end of the desk, and as I said that, she can't hear the question. She just gave me daggers.
So hold on. Did you just play that with the same "if a tree falls in a forest, does it really make a sound" sort of thing? Yeah, no.
Well, look, I don't want my. This is different. If this was me, then I'd go for the the losing all the time because I'm rubbish. But it's my kids, and I want them to be successful in life, and I want the best for them. So,
but
also, is it cheating then?
The best of them.
But is it?
For them?
That sounds.
I'm thinking like
capitalism, cheating and winning and all of that.
And mate, I feel like if he gets used to losing at an early age, if he gets used to losing at an early age, then he's just gonna be ready for adult life. So that's just like you just get ready for all the knockbacks that are coming your way post 18. We know,
and that's the reason why I never let my kids beat me at anything.
Yeah, you teach them that losing is part of life. Unfortunately, it's horrible.
In all seriousness, I'd rather their team lost everything because they were rubbish, because that's how I've approached my basketball career. And I've still made some good friends through it. So
there you go, guys. Integrity.
The Chrome Crabs. Oh dear.
Hey, we won 2 games last season.
Hey, well done.
Did you?
Nice.
Wow.
Legitimate.
How many games did you play?
9.
Okay.
That's not bad.
It's not as bad as I was hoping it would be.
See, Brad, you've been working on the voice to use if your kids do lose. That's not bad.
Very supportive. Cheers, man.
Right, Brad, then, you have to sleep in the same bed as your kids until they turn 18, or you have to do all of their homework for them until they turn 18. Which would you rather do?
I'll do all of their homework.
Every night?
Yeah,
Every day,
yeah, 100%. 100%. I'll do the homework, no problem.
I mean, up to 18, there's some long essays there. There's 2,000 word essays.
See, the thing is, though, I loved the academic side of school. I absolutely, I was that annoying kid that would, go over and above for my projects and things like that. We had to once for metal work, we had to do a famous architectural building, and I got my dad to help me build a copper wire version of the Sydney Opera House, and I had to do a biology piece on birds, and I went out and I hunted down feathers and different types of feathers and stuck. So I'm a total absolute geek when it came to schoolwork.
No, Brad, because that's the thing. You need to promote that. That's it. It's not apparently the boys are the #1 failures at school, and you've just proved that you're the the opposite of that. If you
loved it,
because it's not cool.
Did you succeed? Did you get good marks for it? Or,
yeah.
Did you just put a lot of work in?
He's having renovations every week at his house as well, so he's succeeding.
He's got to be doing it right, isn't he?
You know what I mean?
Definitely. There were times where I'd get the teacher would give me. I mean, whether or not academically it made any difference to my marks at the end of the year, but they would give me above 100% for some of my tasks. Whether or not they'd actually
they weren't the maths teachers, were they? Because that's not good for the South African educational system.
It just meant that the times where I was shit, it just kind of thankfully balanced it out. But yeah, I absolutely love it. I'll do the homework, dude. And plus, also, if you've tried to do homework with kids, you want to kill them. So I'll just do the homework.
Just easier to do it yourself.
Yeah, I'll just do the homework.
But wait, what was the first option? Sleeping in your bed till they're 18?
Kids sleeping, honestly, from 6 months old, our kids, I could not, and no offense to anyone who chooses that, everyone's got their own thing. I could not have my kids in my bed at any stage in their lives. So as soon as they were old enough, I mean, they always slept in a Moses basket next to the bed, or then they moved to a cot at the end of the bed. But 6 months out of that bedroom in their own room, boom, done.
See, the problem me and you would have, Brad, is as they approach 18, as they approach, anything other like teenagerhood, is that me and you are quite tall blokes. Yeah. And our children are going to be quite tall. And it's going to be hard to fit 3 6'4" blokes in a bed. Plus Jay or Danny.
And I'm not, guys, I don't mean to be crude or anything, but I don't fancy being woken up with any of my boys wood poking me in the back.
Right, okay.
I'm just going to say. So,
well, we had a real grown-up conversation, ignoring that awkward bit in that conversation. But yeah, absolutely. We all were thinking it. You said it, and that's why.
Yeah, there we go.
But then, obviously, in Sparky's bed, everyone would be so far away from each other anyway.
It's obviously the opposite problem, isn't it? You need people in there to guide the others out. Have you found a way out yet?
And to be fair, with Sparky constantly wearing Crocs, at some point SJ is going to leave him, and he's got a bigger bed.
Plenty of room for Jackson there to wriggle around.
So he'll be in your bed, but you won't.
Oh, great!
No,
it's good to have you back from holiday, man.
I missed you boys last week.
When my daughter was ill, when we went away a few weeks ago, I kind of wanted to stay in the room with her just because she was throwing up all over the place, and I just obviously wanted to check she was all right. And I did for 2 nights, sleep in the same bed as her. Never again. It like kicking around, pushing me over. Like,
no,
you don't understand how strong an 8-year-old girl is until you have to be anywhere near them while they're asleep. So
guys, I will. When we were away, because obviously we were a bit out of routine, Jackson slept in our bed for literally most of the nights of the holiday. Like, after, we put him in his cot, and then when he woke up in the night, we put him in bed with us. And because the hotel room bed was big, or I thought it was big, but it's just because I'm little. It was really comfortable because there was room for all 3 of us, and it was great. And another thing to you two
single,
giants,
was it?
Yeah, I'll just bring this up quickly to you two giants. Going on a plane. Real fun for small guys. For you guys, with your knees around your ears, trying to put your legs in the aisle, getting smashed by the air hostess. Doesn't happen to me. So come on, baby.
You've got that. You are 100% spot on.
And you get a child fare as well, so that's brilliant.
No, that doesn't exist, Jim. Doesn't exist. I have to pay adult fare for Jackson. Don't even get me started on that, man. Same price for his ticket as it was for mine. He's 2. Come on.
Shocking. On the way, we'll look inside the news, find out how it affects parents. You're listening to Loose Dads from Dadsnet. This is Loose Dads from Dadsnet. We live stream this show now on a Tuesday night, 8:30 we start. We're on the Dadsnet Facebook. We're on Loose Dads Facebook group. We're on YouTube as well, got Loose Dads YouTube. We're trying something different with the way we play the beds in and stuff. And it just means that we're on screen with nothing to talk about. And I think if you've never tried the live streaming, try it next Tuesday at 8:30, just to see the awkward faces. And I don't think you'll be disappointed. I really don't.
I'm just dancing to the music. I like it.
I know. Yeah.
You like the little break of not talking and just having a bit of
a boogie. Bit of dad dancing.
Massively awkward. But it is out just for your audio love and joy on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and whatever the Google one is as well on a Wednesday morning generally. So yeah, join us, but come and give the live streaming a go. You can make comments, you can say hello and then leave after 10 minutes and announce that you're leaving like Sparky's mum did.
She's a good one.
But at least she put the 10 minutes in. Where's my mum?
She did.
Nowhere. My mum, to be fair, has never been on Facebook though. So,
guys, to be fair, for me that went reasonably well with my mum being on for those 10 minutes. I could have gone a lot worse. It could have gone a lot worse.
And Dark Knight says also one of the other bonuses of watching the live stream is you get to see the gorgeous guitars behind Jack's head, which look just like sort of devil horns when Jack puts his head in a certain way right in the middle. You see, that's perfect.
Right.
And Connor says, can I just say, Connor says, wait, people leave. Yeah, like
Connor.
You did last week, mate. Connor, and he went off to watch the Elvis film.
I mean, come on.
I'd like
Fair play, Connor. I completely understand that, mate. I wasn't here, so I can understand why you might have switched off.
But his favourite bit of watching the live stream is guessing Brad's beers. So make sure you're watching 8:30 Tuesday nights. You can do that at the Dadsnet Facebook, the Loose Dads Facebook group, and we've got a Loose Dads YouTube as well. Right, let's look inside the news. So I saw a tweet from a comedian, a Nottingham comedian. That's local for Sparky, Matt Ford. I don't know if you're aware of his. Not Gary Delaney. No, this was not a stolen tweet.
That's Jim's mate. Come on, guys. We all know that.
Please see previous episodes of this podcast for the real story behind the Gary Delaney stealing rumours. Anyway, he said, because it's the Edinburgh Festival at the moment, so loads of comedians up in Edinburgh all doing their thing for the month. He said, someone brought their baby to my show last night. Sadly, it derailed large parts of it because they wouldn't do the decent thing and just leave when it started crying. I get that it must be tough as a new parent, but please don't bring babies to adult shows. It's always a problem. I realise this sounds a bit whiny, but it's just to make sure it doesn't happen again. It's like someone's phone continually ringing and them not turning it off. I've had so many messages from people who were there last night who were very polite about the fact that it pissed them off. So, what are we thinking? Because a lot of people have gone, you can't say that. But he's got a point, right? Has he got a point?
Oh, yeah.
Why are you taking a newborn baby to a
don't
comedy
know.
show?
People seem to be replying to this tweet as if they have a right to take their baby to everything. You don't at all. Like no one has a right to go to a comedy show. You know, they can buy a ticket
with a French horn.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my right, and I will do it.
It's the sort of thing that kind of used to irritate me when maybe even before the kids were born, is when you go to the cinema and someone would bring a newborn into a cinema screening of a film, and you're trying to watch it, and all of a sudden you get this, and you're like, the hell? Why are you bringing a baby? So I agree 100%. Don't take babies or newborn kids to adult areas or adult like activities.
Yeah, just anywhere, really. Like,
yeah. Like,
to give it some balance, and let's just give it some balance. I totally understand why parents still want to do the things that they, still did before they had kids. Right? That's something that I fully get that. And not everyone's got childcare, so it's not always convenient for everyone. But
well, 100%. You've just been dealt a shit card in life. Suck it up and carry on.
But don't take your kid to a comedy gig. Like I thought, usually doesn't it say on the tickets no under 16s anyway? So like, why
they let them in? In fact,
why
exactly,
did it get?
Right.
That's it. Why did it get that far? Why did the bouncers go? Oh yeah, go on in. Take you. Yeah, absolutely.
They should have gone. It's a licensed premises, and I'm not having them drinking in here.
What if they suddenly ordered a whiskey?
Well, exactly, yeah.
Maybe they snuck the kid in. It's like, sometimes when you want to sneak some snacks into the cinema because you don't want to pay those silly prices at the day. Like, see, like, they're like, sorry, sir, ma'am, can I check your handbag? Oh, shit.
You see? And then
on that theme, have we ever actually worked out whether it's allowed to take your own treats into the cinema? Because I don't think they ever really check, do they? I think you're all right to do it, but everyone goes in going, let's be furtive so they don't see we're not paying £15 for popcorn.
Yeah, legally you're allowed to, dude. The only reason they try not to is because cinemas don't make any money on tickets. They make money on the sales of popcorn and drinks and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why they try and create all that scary wording to stop people from doing it, because it's their moneymaker. But there's no reason. But yeah, you're right. It's almost like when you're trying to sneak it in. Like, whenever you leave say Tesco or a cinema a cinema or a shop that has the metal detectors, even when you're not doing something wrong, you feel like it's going to go off. Like you got that anxiety. And it's the same like when you're taking like a little bag of popcorn or snacks or anything into the cinema when you haven't bought it at the confectionery, but you feel like, oh my god, someone's gonna bust me.
Interesting.
Well, I always feel like when I'm coming out of Pick and Pay, I always think that.
Hey. Well, in South Africa, we joke and call it pick and steal.
No, really? Okay.
pick and don't pay.
Yeah, pick and don't pay.
But I used to work at a cinema, and they said you can drink as much Coca-Cola as you want, but you can't use the cups because the cups are where the money is. We can charge £4 for a cup of Coke, but the Coke itself costs nothing.
Because all that post-mix nonsense. Interesting fact, guys. Once for a radio stunt, I smuggled a whole roast dinner into the cinema, and in the big cup, I had a gravy pot slipped inside and a full roast dinner. Got the plates out and ate a full roast dinner whilst watching the cinema. It was great fun. No one arrested me for it, but I did get that feeling though, Brad, that you're talking about.
Yeah. So weird, man.
So anyway, back to the baby thing.
Sorry. This is a random.
This has been a tangent. It is. Yeah. Okay. Maybe you can't get childcare. Yes, you want to be able to do the things, but you have to. Sure, right. You have to understand. You can't just do everything that you wanted to do when you have a baby. You do have to have some limits. There are, like, you couldn't go bungee jumping.
I was just about to say exactly that. I was going to say skydiving, but bungee jumping. You're like.
So I can't go with a baby. That's a bit discriminatory, right? Okay. You just have to accept that some things in your life will change until you can get childcare or until you can go out with someone else and leave your other half with the baby, surely.
Right? Like, I love a bit of liberal outrage, but even I'm even I'm not on board with this. It's not the same as breastfeeding, you know.
Yeah. You're right, absolutely. And if the kid's going in, make it pay for a ticket. I had to pay for Jackson's plane seat. Like, if people don't want kids on planes,
you really are bitter about that.
I am, mate. Like the same as mine. That's why I'm gonna put extra stuff in his bag on purpose, so we got the full 10 kilograms.
Sparky, can I share a little secret with you?
Go on.
We all have to do that.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah. So
I know.
Be so mad, dude.
Okay, Brad. Okay,
just bring it down.
No, the
rest.
Time surely you were this angry the first time you learned it.
100%, dude. When you're like, hold on, I was paying like just tax for a child at one point, and then they hit 2, and then they're like, motherfuckers they're gonna pay. He's gonna pay for a full ticket. I do apologize for swearing, people. Sorry, but like, you got to pay the full price.
You need to keep me a swear beep on here, don't you?
Yeah, you got to, yeah. Add like a 5-second delay.
It's just whenever Brad's talking.
Yeah, I get that outrage, dude. You feel it because, honestly, I forgot I have been there, so you feel the feels, dude. You get it all out.
And also, right, if people don't get cross about things, and if we just accept things as they are, nothing ever changes, right? So maybe Sparky could change it. Let's get you on with Michael O'Leary of Ryanair or whoever it was.
Hello, Ryanair. Yeah, I was just going to say hello, Michael. Bit of liberties, but to be fair, I was just happy to go on holiday. So if you're going to complain about the prices of plane tickets, don't go on holiday. That's what the answer should be back at me, really. To be fair, so.
And as we talked about last week, Brad was at Centre Parks in the summer holidays, so money not an object for him. He is dripping out.
Middle class Butlins. There you go, Brad.
Can I say we've booked another 3-day experience with my folks in November, which has obviously helped with the cost because there's more people sharing the load, and there's people now I can palm the kids off onto.
Yeah, no, that's always the way forward, isn't it?
But talking of hidden secret prices is when you go to Centre Parks and you think that all the activities are included, and that's just the cost of the villa. Oh my god,
dude! Then, honestly, it's so expensive.
Okay, but anyway, if Centre Parks would like to sponsor this podcast, I'd very much love to take our families to a magnificent family weekend that everyone can enjoy.
Oh yeah,
and we'll delete this episode for you. Yeah. I don't mind. If you're paying enough money, we'll delete.
Maybe Jim and I can actually be invited this time.
Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? Rather than you getting to hang out.
Don't push it.
Jack, have you got a news story?
Yes. Okay. I had 3, and I was going to see what you guys came with, but I'll go first. It's fine. A toddler.
Oh no, you've nicked my story. Great. Cheers, Jim. You caused this.
Have I actually?
A toddler killed a snake.
You do yours.
Because I have a toddler and they are unruly and they are savage, and they proved it. A Turkish 2-year-old girl proved that toddlers are the most savage being on the planet. She was playing in the garden. A snake came into her garden. Not an innuendo, Jack. Don't snigger. A snake came into her garden.
Because of the context, it's not a joke I was going to make.
This is going out live, right?
What? Okay. So anyway, a snake comes into this little toddler's garden.
Wendy, where are you?
She's gone.
Rail your son in. He's stepping out alive.
Bites her like she's attacked by the snake, and her parents have obviously taught her if someone does something to you, you do it back to them twice as hard. So she picked up the snake. Go.
No. You finish the story, then I'll pick up on that. Yeah.
She picks up the snake, bites it back, kills it. A toddler killed a snake with her bare hands. That's the news story. Insane.
Yeah, she bit it back. Now, I don't think her parents necessarily taught her to. Like, I think that might be a jump of logic. I think she might just be a toddler.
Just absolutely savage, and it's just like, I'm going to bite you.
But the thing I was picking up on from this story is that, like, the reaction from people is like, "Oh my god, that child's an animal! That child, she's killed an animal." And I'm like, "Well, she's a toddler, and she got bit by a snake."
I don't think we need to jump to conclusions that she's the kind that will, end up torturing animals and then and then lead to killing animals.
I don't think she's got a taste for blood now.
She didn't seek out a snake. Did
yeah,
she?
yeah.
No, she didn't go Steve Irwin in around for this
No.
But like, would you be proud of if your kids, if they? I mean, not proud of killing an animal. Don't get me wrong. Like, let's not make it weird. No, come on, let's not make it serious. But like, if that was your kid's instant reaction, you'd be like, "Well done, good.
Yeah, well,
you handled the situation."
Sometimes you go to M&S and you pick up like a little pack of Colin caterpillars or whatever. Maybe she just thought it was like an overgrown Colin caterpillar that bit back, and she was like, "Woo!"
To be fair, sometimes when my youngest comes to me crying, "Daddy, Jake just hit me," and it's been the 20th time of the day that same complaint has been made, I do want to just say, fucking twat him then. Like, just
gotta teach him somehow.
Like, all right, do I have to be involved?
Oh, yeah, dude.
So
yeah,
I don't know. I'm kind of with it. The biting.
Find out when they've just hit the knee. They go, I hit my knee. It's like, your point is, I mean, I'm very sorry for you, but I really can't do anything at all.
Do you guys have something with your kids where they just grass each other out all the time?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, I keep saying to my boys, I'm like, guys, come to me with important stuff. Don't come to me with, oh, he was sitting on his phone at someone's house. I don't care. Like, if something important happens, come and tell me.
And mine are just at the age where the youngest is constantly grassing up the eldest, saying, "Oh, he hit me," and like, so I'll give him a cuddle and I'll go and I'll try and talk the situation through. I'm going, "Okay, Jacob, why did you hit Harry?" Well, because he punched me in the face. All right, Harry, did you punch him in the face? Yes. Right.
This is all reasonable.
I think you kind of deserved that then. Okay, right. My job here is done.
Might have omitted that information from the first complaint. Dark Knight says that Steve Irwin resurrected. Connor says, watch 20 years' time, she's the worst serial killer.
Hey, be careful though to her future boyfriends. Don't mess with her.
There's going to be a new Netflix series that says don't beep with snakes.
Oh, yeah. Did you watch that Cats one?
Yeah.
I got about an episode in. I was like, oh, they've not got round
honestly,
to the point.
It got twisted, man. It got seriously twisted. Oh, yeah.
Did it get interesting? Because it was a bit boring after the first episode.
Yeah. No, I'd say it's worth a watch to see how the psychopathy of an individual can progress from one thing to another. Because he did end up moving on to people, I believe, if I recall the story correctly.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Right. We'll keep an eye on this girl.
Snakes
She's
for
only
people.
2.
It's possible.
Give her a break.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on.
Well, I think my other news story then. Oh, I don't know which one to do now. Okay.
Do you want to do one? We'll go to Brad, and you can come back and do another one.
No. I'm going to do another snake-related one. This wasn't yours, was it, Brad?
No.
Okay. Right. A man has built a cyborg machine to give snakes their legs back.
I saw that, yeah. I mean, evolution took them away. Why would we give them back?
I was going to say, I mean, it's not a recent thing. It's not like an adder now that had legs that had been stolen up.
No, his reasoning is like, oh, well, if like a dog has 3 legs or something, humankind does stuff to, or it doesn't have its hind legs, humans give it wheels and, they try and help it, but nobody does that with snakes.
But
because they're not meant to have legs. They've evolved to not have legs. A dog's not evolved to have 3 legs. That's the result of an accident or an illness, right?
I also think that a snake with cyborg legs is the stuff of horror movies.
Yeah.
I mean, what would that poor girl do if a snake came tumbling over? Not, silently, it just like the Terminator.
Yeah, that's it. She bites the head off one and then suddenly a portal opens and there's all these cyborg snakes.
She could definitely break a tooth on a metal leg,
Dangerous for toddlers. There we go.
Yeah, and they come from an organization in the future called Snake Net. they've come back
Snake
to...
net, I have been sent back.
Is that where Dad's net evolves to eventually?
Snake.
I mean,
Anyway,
it's
freaky.
a revenue option, isn't it, in the future? And that's all we can do is just prepare. They say for kids now at school, they'll be doing jobs that haven't been thought of yet. Then that's what Snake's Net is. That's what it is. It's the next natural progression.
A support network for snakes.
One of our children
where they complain about not having legs.
They could be CEO of Snake's Net really soon. So loose snakes from Snake's Net. That is on the way. Brad, what's your news story?
All right, so mine is not my usual theme, but this is the most horrific and scary news that I've ever in my life read.
Brace yourself, everybody.
And I was hoping to at least share this with 3 of my solid hombres. But
they couldn't be here tonight, so you did that with us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I thought you guys would suffice. But basically, schools across the UK consider 3-day weeks.
Oof, no thanks.
You take that back. You don't say it out loud. You take it back.
What
right? So basically what's happening is with the rising energy costs and everything going on in life, schools, head teachers are struggling to hold on to teachers. The problem being is that, the government's not pumping in quite enough to...
Brad, sorry to interrupt you, but I learned this today, Jack, and you might not know it, but all the energy bills at schools are going to go up as like they are in all our houses, but the school budget's not going up, and they pay for the electricity bill out of the school budget. So that means less books, so Johnny BP can get paid. Like, I was astounded when I found
that's
that out
horrendous.
Today. Like, how is that okay? So that's why they're thinking about these, to be able to keep the school warm enough and to pay teachers.
So as Dark Knight says, as someone who works in a school, this ain't going to happen. I pray to all the gods out there that this is not going to happen. But I thought that's quite a scary concept, right? But then, like, how would working parents survive? Because then you're having now to pay for more sort of childcare for the 2 additional days that you have to work, but you're on a 5-day week, and then you've now got to balance this out. It's a mess, guys. If this was to happen, this is an utter shit show.
It's 2022.
This would be bad enough. Me and my wife both work from home, and we both have jobs where, we have deadlines and we have things we have to do, but we can move things around. It would still be a nightmare for us. For someone who's got to work like 9 to 5 solidly, and actually look like they're busy as well. They've got an actual real boss who's watching them. It's just impossible. It can't happen. Without them, spending, as you say, hundreds and hundreds of pounds on childcare. This is petrifying.
Yeah. So I'm sorry to have brought that to the table, and it wasn't my usual sexcapade topic.
I mean, I'd much rather have been a cheery subject like that, because honestly, when I found that out earlier, I was just like, what?
I read this and I thought I needed to prepare you guys just in case. So at least you know.
Oh, well, you either bring like really funny sex stories, or you bring like real doom and gloom to this podcast.
Your other story, Jack.
Or
Jack, is your other story a fun one? Can we finish on something light-hearted, or is it another cyborg or snake leg story?
Well, so like Storage Wars, where people buy storage units at auction, and they don't get to see what's in them. A family in New Zealand bought one, and they don't get a lot of time to go through it. They just have to load it all up in the van and then take it home. And then they got it home, and they opened up some suitcases that were in there, and there were human bodies in them.
Oh, God.
I mean, we should have ended on my school story.
Okay, so...
I mean, what?
Dead snakes, dead bodies, dead 5-day school weeks. Wow, this is loose, Dad.
I mean, we've got some big questions to answer very soon, so that's not going to cheer us up, is it? It's people with problems.
Oh no!
Let's see if we can do that in a light-hearted way. That's coming up next on Loose Dads from Dad's Net.
Okay, I can start us off with something that's a bit more lighthearted if you want.
Go on then, please.
All right.
Okay, this is a question for Brad and Sparky and the listeners live who will be able to join in with comments. So, since Jim has started working for Dad's now, I have seen multiple rooms in his house now. Through video conferencing. No, we don't work out of his house.
There's a real close working relationship.
Yeah.
You work from Jim's home.
Yeah, why not?
So I'd like you to guess what Jim has a very large picture of in his bedroom.
Oh, yeah. Have I not? I must.
Is it like is it like a picture hanging like above their bed?
It's not above the bed. No, it's above.
Okay.
It's like a kind. I want to say fireplace. That makes it sound like a cozy cottage. It's like a shit old gas thing that they've covered up the previous people that we've never done anything with. But anyway, the picture's above that.
So you look at it from your bed when you're in bed.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I would hazard a guess that it is a Victorian painting of their previously passed Labrador dog that they had.
Well, I mean, it's not a bad guess, but it's not anywhere near right.
Oh!
I was trying to think. I know Jim and his wife are big fans of vintage, so I imagine it's something classic and tasty. Like it's like for me as well. I'm such a fan of Yorkshire. I'm thinking like a vintage Yorkshire tea print or something. Like because I mean that's the sort of northern pride you wear, Jim. So I would bring joy to know that you had that in your bedroom for me.
It's not that. No, it's a large picture of the King of Rock and Roll, Elvis Presley.
Oh wow!
Yeah, in one of his white jumpsuit Elvis Vegas moments.
So if anyone last week should have been pissing off to go watch the Elvis movie.
Exactly. I've not even seen it. I'm waiting for Connor's review, but he's not sent something through. He thought it was a vintage nude abstract lady. That's what he thought it was. But that one didn't get past my wife. So
Well, I thought it was interesting that that is what you have in the bedroom to get you rocking and rolling.
Hey.
I'm all shook up. Yes, Jim.
It's where Jim gets in bed and he goes, I ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Hound doggy style. Right, I'm going to press the button.
Thank you, please. Let's do the big question.
The big question of the week.
And, there's some suspicious minds when the other half isn't there, whatever, yeah. Right, so big question of the week. This is what we do. We take some questions from the Dad's Net forums on the internet, which are free to join. And there's a really great place to go. The community group is massive. We've got loads of dads there, loads of support for you. There's also individual groups for activities and areas of the country as well. So get involved if you want that support group. But we take some of the questions that the dads pose and we try and give some answers. So this one, it says, the wife and I were invited to a wedding. It was 12:30 at the church, and then the reception was about 10 miles away. So we got the babysitter, we got dressed up, ready to go. We met up with some friends from work, went to do the religious stuff in 40-degree heat. Then it transpires only 3 of the 8 work friends have been invited to the afternoon reception. The others are only invited to the first bit and then the evening bit. Is that weird? That's
yes.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Right?
It is. Yeah. I don't think you invite people to the church if they're not coming to the afternoon bit.
No, especially if you want them to come to the evening bit as well. I guess once you're there, surely you're there for the rest of the day. Right?
Yeah.
Whatever time you turn up.
You guys are confusing the absolute living bejesus out of me. I thought it was always just the wedding and then the reception. What's the afternoon bit? What is that
With
about?
the wedding, And then you have the bit where you go and have your meal and the speeches and stuff. And then you have the bit where they move everything out of the way and the
okay. So you're taking like the
7.
reception and splitting it into 2 sections, where it's like the formal meal with the toasts and everything, and then the dancing.
The really expensive bit that people don't want too many people to go to.
Yeah.
So it's understandable. Like as a man that's planning a wedding at the moment, by the way, understandable if they don't want them to go to the meal in the day. But yeah, don't invite them to the church, because then, especially if it's miles away, it's just this big awkward bit in the middle. Like,
sorry guys,
to go home.
Speaking of Sparky organizing a wedding, have you guys received your invites yet?
No, not yet. Post takes a while up here. So
I think the postmen are on strike again as well. Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind if it's the church bit or just the evening, but
guys, you're welcome to fly to Corfu for just the evening. I mean, the fact that you would do that for me is such a nice offer from my good podcasting buddy.
I tell you what, if the dad's net are paying for it, we're there. We're doing an episode.
Al, make it happen if you love this show.
It's a live episode at your wedding.
That would be amazing.
So it is.
SJ wouldn't say that, Jack.
Would you?
I imagined you'd be predisposed.
Would you, Sparky? Have you possibly thought of people that you like enough to come to the actual, ring on the finger bit? You don't like them enough to feed them, but you do like enough to have a few drinks and go dance with them.
Yeah. No way, man. It's too weird. As the traditional thing, and I think, like Connor said it in the comments, is you either invite them to the whole thing or just the evening, because and that's difficult enough choosing those, just choosing people that are just for the evening, because it is a bit of a snub if you think you're really good friends with someone and you don't even get the full invite. You do think, oh, well, that's. But a man now who's planning a wedding, I understand why that happens now. It's not personal. It's because it's bloody expensive. Per head.
Have you ever been to the evening do and you've got there and you're scoping out the other people going, they've been here all day. They look a bit
drunk. Likes him more than me.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
And you can tell it because the people who were there in the day are in suits and look very posh, whereas the people who turn up for the evening are just in sort of smart cash, because they're like, oh, I'm just going for a night out. I'll just put on a check shirt.
The evening casuals, just for the buffet.
Yeah, that is awkward. How is that planning going? How is the decision making? Have you made the decision? Have you worked out who's making the cut and who isn't?
Yeah, where's the line?
Yeah, no, it's done. The decision's been made. I mean, that's been made for a while because you've had to book flights to come to Corfu. But that is literally, there's only 28 people come in for that, and that is mainly family, and then my longest serving friends,
Nice.
But it's horrible. It really is horrible. When someone's, you get married, and then you feel this obligation. You guys have all been married, so you know this, right? So the obligation,
mate, we got married in Skiathos.
So memorable.
Daddy's in the room. Got to get this right.
Danny's in the room. Can't edit it out. We got married in Skiathos, and we only had 40 people. Just because similar thing, the cost and flying people out there and all that sort of stuff. So
because you just feel like you don't want to be a burden on people to get them to fly to your wedding, because I'm not paying for all your flights. I'm not to come to my wedding. I'll pay for your meal, and so there's that bit. But it's you know what?
You pay for your flight, I'll pay for your meal.
Seems fair. But why do we create this real awkward, expensive situation for us when we all just could have a good night out together anyway and celebrate being married? Babe, I'm really happy we're getting married, but but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you could hire a function room and not say it was for a wedding, but get all the wedding things from other suppliers, not mentioning the wedding, and save a lot of money, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But it also looked like a tight one then.
We all know who I am, guys. I know my role on this podcast.
At your wedding, you've got a happy bar mitzvah cake.
All right, Jack. Have you seen my plans? You've been hacking my emails, mate.
Hello to Ryan says, more than likely they're half cut when the evening bit started. That's how you know who's been there.
Oh, yeah.
And Connor said, me and my missus doing the registry office, then doing a private room or a function room. That sounds much more simple and
Honestly,
clean.
yeah. I mean, like, you know what? Like, I don't know how we've reached this point where people almost bankrupt themselves for the wedding. Like some people can spend silly money on a wedding.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they've taken out loans, and then they spend in their first few years of marriage trying to sort out the bloody loan for the wedding. And it's like, yeah, rather take that money, have something. And I said, like, you know, that's exactly what my wife and I were going to do. Same as Connor, is do that. But because her dad offered to pay for our weddings, we flew back home and we did it that way. But save up that money and go having the most amazing honeymoon. Go travel. Go do something that adds value to your life, you know?
Or get married abroad, and then you're having the holiday.
Yeah, that's it, Jack. And was that in your thinking? And actually, for the cost it is going to work out, it sounds expensive, like me going to Corfu to get married. But actually,
it's cheaper than if you did something here.
Some of the quotes we got just for a venue in this country, we have got so much for that money in euros in Corfu. But obviously, we have to pay for the holiday on top of it. But I'm seeing it as a holiday and wedding, and a holiday with a load of my best mates.
Yeah.
But we would just get a room with no food or anything for a big chunk of the money that we've
yeah.
We got married we had the reception on my mother-in-law's farm. So, and she, like, all of the farmers around there all have like side hustles, like marquee hire and things like that. So it was like a real, like, just had a list of what we wanted, and she went, right, I'll go and do some negotiating. Came back and got a really good price on loads of things, no questions asked. Everything was fine.
Nice.
Those farm weddings are brilliant. I've been to one on a farm, and it's like hay bales. Did you have like hay bales and everything like that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
so good. Like, got smashed, and then you're in a field and you can't upset anyone because you're in a big. Like, it's great.
Well, I mean, it is possible.
Okay, that's another story for another day, is it, mate?
Exactly. Yeah. Not me, but yeah. Anyway, moving on. Right, dads, the inevitable hair thinning has begun, and I am hating it. Anyone recommend some tried and tested products? I also really don't want to shave it. I really like having hair. So, are there any products that can...
I didn't think you'd be reading my post online.
Sorry.
I mean, this is unacceptable. Oh, sorry. I think I've got a dog that's decided to come in. Sorry, dude. Out.
I'm with you. I'm feeling this, and I'm like with you, Brad. I don't know if it was the last haircut I had or something, but I really noticed in the mirror that I thought, oh, when they show you the back, I was like, oh,
yeah.
And I don't know. I hate it, but I every time SJ always makes me feel better, and I think that's what she does because she loves me. No, it doesn't look that bad, but I'm like, I can freaking see it, you know, like I can see it. But do you know what I've done though? One hack or stupid thing you read on the internet is I've stopped using shampoo and just using conditioner. Like, because you put too much product and chemical in your hair, sometimes that can be what's causing it.
Oh, do you think that does it?
Sorry, Jack.
You think the bathroom bleach I was using?
It might be the fact that you kept washing your hair with Veet. I think that was probably where you're going wrong, dude.
So what is the science behind that, Sparky, or is it just something you've seen on TikTok? And
I know it's something a guy was saying. It's just like, because we put lots of detergent on like shower gel is like detergent, really. It's not. If you could get natural products, the more natural products you use, the better it is. But we all know natural products cost the earth. Like, they're way more expensive than a bottle of, the bottle of Dove off the end of aisle or Radox or whatever you get,
I'm waiting for Sparky's plug for Dr. Squatch.
Oh yeah, I see those adverts everywhere, man.
What's that, the big bar of soap thing?
Yeah.
I've seen those too. But yeah, no, like, but the detergent thing does make sense when you look into it. And if like, so I've started to just try and pay attention to what chemicals are on, or how much more natural the product can be. That's what I'm trying to look for. But
and is your hair growing back?
No, but it feels like it's not falling out as much. Like you know, when you wash your hair in the sink, that's when I was noticing it. You know, when you sometimes just rinse your face and then wash your hair. Sorry, Jack, I'm not taking it. Right. And then like you look down in the sink and you started to see more. You see bits in the sink, like just single strands, and you're like, what? Why is that happening more often now? And but that's happening less.
So like, just to highlight again, and I think I've spoken about this before. So a few months after I got COVID, because your body, whenever your body goes through a moment of, and I don't know if you've been sick or high stress or anything recently, Sparky, but whenever your body experiences like a shock of some sort, whether that be an illness or stress or anxiety, it can take a few months before your body, for whatever reason, your hair just starts falling out in mass. And like I had that a few months after I had COVID. All of a sudden, I would wash my hair, and rather than like just the odd strand being out, it was like clumps. And then I'd wipe again, and it'd be clumps. And I started panicking. I'm like, oh my God,
it's over.
Yeah. And because I've obviously explained in the pod before, I have a bit of a thing about my hair. And so, yeah, you may have experienced something recently, and that could be, accelerating it. But what I've looked at previously is obviously the is it hair plugs where they take a bit from like your back and put it in the front. Mm-hmm. So I've looked at that, which is something I'd still consider in the future. But recently, and whether or not it works, I've been trialing a product. And I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen the adverts for it. Copenhagen Grooming, I think, where it's like this sort of formula that you put in, and you got like this device that you roll in there to try and stimulate the follicles again. It reckons it takes 150 days to work. So I bought 150 days package to trial it. I'll let you guys know if it works at the end of this, or whether or not it was just money wasted.
But seriously, I think genuinely, if you are actually going to do that, it would be interesting for us and for listeners to know whether it does actually do anything.
Exactly, dude. Because they have like 150 days. If it doesn't work, they give you your money back. So I'm like, well, if it doesn't work, I can get my money back, which is no problem. So they're that confident about it. So so I'll let you guys know if it does work.
And if not, is it a trip to Istanbul Hairport, as they call it? Because everyone goes over to Turkey to get their hair sorted.
Yeah, no, I've found some actual local deals that weren't too badly priced, and I think for the schlep of having to jump on an airplane and deal with all of that crap, I'll just have it done locally.
This is the other thing is greyness as well as baldness. Dark Knight says I've been going grey since my 20s. Now my little girl says I've got Elsa hair when I don't dye it. Is anyone bothered about that? Obviously, Jack, once again, apologies, you can't join it.
It's the quietest it's been all night, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah.
You know what? I think when men go grey, I think it looks sick. I dig it.
Distinguished,
I think it looks really cool. I mean, like I've seen in our town, we've like ever since we moved here, there was a young bloke who had like pure white hair, and I was like, you know what, that looks cool. I mean, it doesn't look odd or anything.
Yeah, I'd like mine to accelerate a bit. And my beard's going quite grey, but I've noticed there's just like a few flecks of grey.
Yeah,
I feel like that's not enough. I need a bit more.
When it accelerates, though, Jim, that's horrible. It's like. I want him to. When I get the side shave, I'm always like, just get rid of that grey, and then just like, happily have it a bit through the top. That might be a bit more distinguished, but around the sides where you get the shaved bit, it just looks like it's because it grows quicker. Why does grey hair grow a little bit quicker than? It does. It's trying to stitch me up, man.
It is. It just does it to annoy you. Really does. This is Loose Dads from Dad's Net. Hope you've enjoyed this. You've lasted longer than 10 minutes, so if you've lasted longer than Wendy, Sparky's mum. I mean, I'm going to say stormed out. She stormed out 10 minutes. But it's good to have you back, Sparky. Thank you very much for this.
It's good to be back. I'll ring my mum after the pod to just check that none of you offended her. I mean, Brad didn't offend her. You know what I mean?
Thank you to Jack as well. Thank you for
thank you.
Pressing some buttons.
You're welcome.
Thank you to Brad. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much to everyone who's been smashing the comment section today. You guys are all legends.
Yeah.
I don't know if I think Jim, you can do the shout out because you're professional.
Okay, what? Just to everybody?
Yeah. Just to some names that you've seen being consistent.
Okay, then. To Isabel, to Connor, to the Dark Knight, to Ian, to someone else, Ryan. He was there, and plenty of
Ian's
other people.
Been getting involved this week. Yeah,
nice. Exactly. It's great to hear from you all. Sydney, they got in contact. Said hello.
Sydney's Brad's fan.
Yeah, well, everyone's got to have someone.
My only fan.
And Paul as well.
Oh, hold on.
Hey!
I've been waiting all night to use that.
Do make sure that you listen. You join us for a live stream, 8:30 every Tuesday night. That's when we do it. And if you don't want to do that, you can still listen on your podcaster of choice and leave us a review as well, because that would really help us. 5 stars and a nice write-up on Apple podcasts, whatever it's called. That is really good. This is the professional bit. Spotify can give us 5 stars, and some of the others you probably can as well. I don't know, but just wherever you can say nice things about us, tell a friend about it, and that'd be good. Right, we're going to go now, but we'll be back next week. Thank you very much. See you later. This is Loose Dads.
Loose Dads, a Dadsnet original podcast.